Twig, door.
I think it's Sonic.
Which one?
Okay, bring it on. All right, too slow. Okay,
Oh no, it's
buddy,
Jason
let's
Griffith.
go. Hey, there, buddy. I need your help. Aren't you a big Sonic fan?
When I was 10.
Your YouTube channel says otherwise.
Damn it.
Look, every Sonic game I was in has negative reviews.
What about Unleashed?
I just need your help, since that era means a lot to me. But I'm having a hard time pointing out the positives.
I got it.
Yahoo! All right, okay, nice job. S rank,
Wow,
too
no wonder
slow.
people hated
Gotta
your
go.
voice.
Sonic is just one of those franchises I know way too much about. I grew up with this most infamous era. Most of the games at this time were either forgotten or just looked down upon, like Sonic 06. However, that didn't stop fans from bringing their own take onto the blue blur. Growing up in the 2000s, before Steam was really a thing, I remember playing a lot of Flash games. And if you were a Sonic fan like me, you'd probably remember the most popular fan game created by user BlackDevilX, this game being Final Fantasy Sonic X. Okay, well, it's actually a series, so how do you think this video is gonna be like 20 minutes long? Just one game? Pff, I don't think so. Yes, Final Fantasy Sonic X is actually split into 6 games, the first being published on October 13th, 2004, and the last episode being published on June 7th, 2008. I thought I'd dive into this cause, hey, this game's from my childhood. And also makes me the most ad revenue. So I mean, hey, but I actually want to see if this game would stand the test of time to some extent, because I mean, I gotta be a little merciful, man. It's 2004. A man is running away with a sword from some dude named Kane. The man is trying to protect the sword since it can open up some sort of gate of destruction, so he sends off the sword, hoping it falls into the right hands.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Sonic is then awoken by none other than Amy Rose. Thank chaos. Apparently Knuckles and Tails are looking for him. Hint, it's about the sword. As Sonic is going to visit the two, Shadow stops him and forces him into a more scripted battle than any God of War game. Finally, after kicking Shadow's ass as planned, Sonic heads off to visit Tails and Knickknacks. Tails explains to him how he found the sword and gives it to him to hold. You know, like a 2,000-pound sword. What a great friend. Suddenly, Amy is kidnapped by who I assume is Kane. You then come across a henchman who defeats Sonic and Shadow till they're unconscious. Wait, new structure? Did they kill Sonic?
After all these years, Eggman, a freaking henchman can do it better than you. Just a nobody.
Here's where the game has a crisis in its first episode. You see, the game is already based on Final Fantasy to some extent. I mean, hey, it's in the title. But now they're adding Mega Man to the mix to an already crossover game. And just to add to the cluster of different IPs, they're also adding in The Legend of Zelda, all in the same episode.
Is this PlayStation All-Stars?
Sonic gets his new body, which changes him from his Genesis sprite to the Advanced series. Look, I know I just went on a little rant and gets repetitive after a while, I understand that. However, I need to bring up another major flaw in the story, using Genesis sprites for certain characters. Sonic changes into his Advanced sprite, and that's it. It's just a random concept with no weight to the story. It's unnecessary, but they use it multiple times. I'm guessing it's to show how powerful the villains are, that, you know, whenever someone gets defeated by them, they have to get a new body. But if that's the case, then why are Shadow and Amy and their Advanced sprites in the whole series? But Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles aren't. It's not like they didn't have the Genesis sprites for Shadow or Amy, because they have them on the loading screen. I wish this was explained better in later episodes, but spoilers, it never is. So later on, Sonic dreams about Amy, while everyone else is dead. Then finally, they head off to Hyrule. Just cause they can.
Hey, question, who's that?
Yeah, why are you still here?
I just thought I'd stay and watch this all come together. You know, get a behind-the-scenes look.
I mean, he does have a valid point.
I think he has nowhere to go. Okay, you know what?
We dive into the second episode to find that Link and some other dude are running from Mecha Sonic. Purple Dude gets caught by Sonic and the gang and is first revealed what he is doing. Apparently he was sent to spy on Kane's group to gain any info on this legendary sword. He gives the whole, if it falls into the wrong hands, we're screwed talk, then pisses off as Mecha Sonic comes in and decides to fight the cast, minus X, who is going to help out Sephiroth, aka the Purple Dude. The problem with this whole game is that they expect you to know who all the characters are and their universes. Never playing a Mega Man game, and barely any Legend of Zelda, makes it a little more difficult for me to follow. Finally, we get into our first actual battle, which is only semi-scripted, but hey, at least I can choose the attacks I want to use. Oh, hell yeah. What I mean by semi-scripted is, you see, the robot's gonna annihilate your team anyways, which leaves Sonic with 1 HP, activating his overdrive. Then ta-da, he dead. Once you finish the battle, this dude just appears out of nowhere, and is all like, "Hey hooligans, messing with Kane's toys. How dare thee!" Sonic is cheeky, saying he could easily do it again, but the idiot's near to death. Mr. Robot Dude pulls a Goku, saying he only wants to fight him at his strongest, and leaves. The gang catches up to X and Sephiroth, and then everyone heads off to the Hyrule Market to play I Spy. You're supposed to collect the 4 names of the legends as a password to move on, and if you try to copy and paste, the game will reset. But all I had to do was just scroll down, and boom, there's the password. Oh, I love the internet. While you, the player, were looking for clues, you run into Link. Link wants to test your skills, so he hits you a few times. Suddenly, Sonic goes full out melee and just bodies the poor boy. Once you type in the password from earlier, it brings up something about the Stone of Chaos, and how if you want it, you'd have to prove you're worthy. Something glows in the distance, then the episode ends there. To be honest, we're 2 episodes in, and I'm already lost, so it's not even much of an RPG, you know? It's more like an interactive Flash movie.
I thought you said this game was great.
Yeah, but later on, I mean, this was in the early 2000s, so at this point it's a grind, and I really need a break.
Well, let me take over.
Haven't the viewers suffered enough?
Ruby, would you be willing to do an episode for me?
I'd rather watch my skull bleed out, but fine. Episode 3 starts off with some hippie LARPers prancing into the forest like they think they're an anime opening. Pretty terrible if you ask me. The game, if you can call it that, is instigated by fighting Pokemon Sapphire over here in an RPG. Except you don't. Just kidding. It's scripted. Nothing is real. Choice is an illusion. Life is meaningless. So then Sonic defeats his Jump-Sona and becomes Super Saiyan somehow. He catches up with the rest of his LARP group and they watch Link get the fairy dust slapped out of him. Apparently Link got slapped by the edgelord of an OC Bass and his sidekick, a green apple Haichu named Eon. They work for Kane or something. Apparently the guy Sonic defeated wasn't even a real boss. Or a Gowardian? Yeah. A Gowardian. I'd actually like to point out the spelling in this game. I can't really blame Sn0wy for missing this since he's diagnosed with being a dumbass. Honestly, the kid can't read. In his last video, he kept calling King Henry King Harold.
Actually, it's King Herod.
Oh. Anyway, Sonic sends Optimus Prime and Lightning McQueen to fight Eon and sends Kill la Kill to get Link some help instead of helping him themselves. Scripted boss fight, scripted win, blah blah, kill me.
Wow, you actually did it. Thanks.
Yeah, whatever, get on with your show.
Finally, after what seems like forever, Tails and Knuckles come back into play in their Genesis sprites. Aeon picks a fight with Nipples, while Tails is just comic relief and sucks at everything. Base saves Knuckles, only so he can explain what they missed out on. Almost like a catch-up for the audience. They go back to fighting, but this time with Tails. At last, the fight between Sonic and the Guardian begins. Next episode. We've waited for this build-up for 2 episodes now! Just fight already! Hey Jason, you're in the shot, can you move?
I am tired of this! People always make fun of my Sonic voice. I can't go a day on Twitter without some kid bullying me. I was in Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, even One Piece, but I'm only known for my Sonic role, and I'm never going to live it down. I, Jason Griffith, will make Sega regret ever using my voice in their badly made Sonic games, even if it's the last thing I do.
To be fair, he was an actor on 4Kids, so he was destined for failure as soon as he signed the contract.
What took half the series at this point, we finally get into the battle we've all been waiting for. Honestly, this battle didn't hold up as much to me as I thought it would. Though finally, we get some voice acting in the fights, even though it's just Sonic making some grunting noises. I mean, oh, well, it's pretty hot. However, something that really surprised me was just how after all these years, I still knew how to beat this boss. Pretty much how the battle goes is you just max out all your stats and keep attacking him. The only challenge in this whole fight is leveling up the stats, since like a child would do that. Which leads me to my next point. This fight just felt very boring. What I mean by this is, minus the special moves here and there, you only really attack with one attack animation you have, then heal every once in a while. Not too interesting. Once you defeat the Guardian, they give you a generic leveling up XP screen, which doesn't make any sense. You see, your data never carries over from game to game, so this is just pointless, unskippable filler. Sonic returns after what seems like forever, and the gang comes together. They hear off in the distance what is Tails and Knuckles getting their asses handed to them. But didn't they defeat the two last episode? Well, guess what, guys? We've got a plot hole. From the last episode, these guys were down for the count. However, they somehow defeat both Tails and Knuckles. I mean, there was no sign of the tables turning in the last episode. In the condition they were in, they would have just run off with how the story betrays them. Anyways, Shadow takes Tails and Knuckles to safety, and it's up to Sonic to beat Aeon. I've gotta say, if there's one thing these games do really well, it's the sprite animations. I haven't brought it up, or even the openings this game has, except, I mean, Ruby freaking poking fun at it. Even though they didn't start out all that good, the animations are pretty well done in these last episodes.
Hey, is he still out?
Yeah.
He's been out pretty long. Is he gonna be alright?
Well, if you know one thing, that sure knocked some sense into him.
Snowy, this isn't a laughing matter. What if I actually hurt him?
Twig, this is a YouTube video. We can't just kill him off yet when we're one game away from finishing.
What's YouTube?
So here we are, the final episode of the series. And wow, that's all I can say, just wow. But first, some quick backstory. This game came out 2 years after episode 5, and after the long wait, it sure delivers. They somehow tie together the mess of this story to where it actually all makes sense, which really caught me off guard. They even have full-out voice acting and not just Sonic's grunts.
Tails, Knuckles, are you guys alright? At this rate, they won't make it.
This is a story of triumph.
It's so good. I love this game. It's so good.
This is the first time I've done something like this, but please, play the game first. You need to play it yourself since it's a really good game. You just need to play it to fully appreciate it. It'll only take you about like 15 minutes to beat, so what are you waiting for? Even if you played it years ago, just go back and play it again. I forgot about pretty much everything past the main big climactic fight in this. And now that you're just caught up with the whole plot, it makes a lot more sense. Now with that out of the way, and hoping you've played it yourself, let's just jump into it. So Sonic saves Tails and Knuckles from Aeon and base. Shadow escorts them to safety, and now Sonic must fight Aeon. Now, this battle. This is an amazing step up from the past games. There are actually so many options than before where it was just a single attack and some magic. You've got items, special attacks, mana, where you can lower his defense and raise your attack. Even multiple attacks. I found myself going back and playing this multiple times just cause it was fun. The animations make it so you just want to try out everything. And this just made my childhood self lose it.
I'm not done with you yet.
Like, imagine little Evan watching Sonic just beat the crap out of this dude like a total badass. I remember playing with my little Sonic toys and I was a little squeaker just recreating these moves because they were so... I'm sorry I'm sucking up to this game so much, but from my experience, it's like playing Sonic Boom, and then near the very end, it turns into Generations. Look, I don't want to stay on this topic forever, so just play it yourself. You'll understand how awesome it is. Once you defeat Aeon, Sonic goes in with his meme font subtitles to deliver the final blow with the cheesiest delivery and line in this whole episode.
This one's for Tails.
Suddenly, Base comes from nowhere and is like, oh, easy, GG, and knocks out Sonic. He says,
"Did you really think I was finished with that attack back there? I should kill you right now."
Which, I mean, if he just stood there and let his partner get destroyed, it's kind of a dick move. He spares Sonic and lets him keep his items. Are you freaking stupid? This whole time, all you've done is spare people. Boy, they've been giving him more spares than Frisk from Undertale. Like, there's Sonic, he's right there, like, oh, I'm dead, here, my sword's right here. You've chased him down this whole time for his freaking sword, and you let him have it? You let him go with it? I'm done. After 5 episodes, we finally get to see what Amy is up to, and...
Come here. No, don't be alarmed.
Wait, what? Okay, I was genuinely shocked about this, because I thought he was long gone. I legitimately forgot everything that happened past the fight with Aeon, so I was like, oh. This man reveals himself to be Soma Cruz. They even break the 4th wall, which, okay, like, this series hasn't had any memorable jokes for me, since most were pretty unfunny. Like the channel you're watching. Oh, self-deprecation, guys, it's my favorite. However, this game actually has some pretty solid character interactions, and this single 4th wall break basically marks the change in the series. Not just the animations as a whole, but the writing. Sure, it's still super cheesy, like, come on, but it's a charming kind of cheese. Wow, I just spent all that time freaking celebrating a 4th wall break. That's pretty sad. Anyways, we get the backstory that Sama stole an artifact from Kane, this being the sword that Tails finds in the 1st episode. We learn that once the sword gets combined with certain items, it's a weapon of mass destruction, yada yada. The sword is also a key that will open up the gate of destruction. Wow, this sword's just bad news. We get back to Sonic and the gang, where my favorite character interaction plays out.
Chaos. Yeah, whatever. Hey, I've got an idea. Let's take off his shoes.
Don't touch the shoes!
Tails and Knuckles got the advancement procedure.
How did I only get this joke now?
We meet the character Ciel, which, to be honest, I just don't know how to say her name, because this little message appears, and I'm just lost. Anyways, Ciel asks Sonic to go look for the strange energy that she picked up in the forest, and Sonic takes along Shadow with him, while X and Zero train Tails and Knuckles. Sonic finds a Chaos Emerald and decides to get cocky with it. It gets stolen, and we're introduced to another game. You're pretty much just dodging this Hawk dude until you get the blow on him. Not much else to say about it, except Shadow riding Sonic was just the perfect touch. We get back to base, who realizes just how powerful the Stone of Chaos really is, and it's revealed to us that Link's been working with Kane this whole time. And just like that, that's the last we saw of this series.
Where am I?
You never left.
When will we be done with this stupid game?
Really, Jason? This is a fan game. No, not a game. A series. A love letter to Sonic. And you're the voice of Sonic. Sure, you know, people made fun of your voice. Everyone makes fun of everyone. It's the internet. Hell, you had pretty big shoes to fill. But hey, you were part of a lot of people's childhood, including mine, so just, you aren't just Jason Griffith. You're Sonic, and you can't live that down. And you're also Shadow, but I mean...
Hey, Jason! Wanna make Sega pay for what they did?
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, okay, I'm done here. Later, losers.
So whatever happened to the series? To put it simple, it seems like the project is still going, but very slowly. There have been teases to it every here and there, and different people have been taking the 7th episode into their own hands. Back in 2013, it looked like the game was going to be continued, but instead of BlackDevilX making it, it would be users Aeon the Hedgehog and Rouge2T7. Yes, Aeon isn't just the character that Black Devil made. Also, a little fun fact, I used to know Rouge2T7 back when I was just a little squeaker making Sonic sprites. After they spoke with Black Devil, they all agreed that Black Devil should continue making it on his own. The last update on the game was in 2013, however, he's still semi-alive.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead. There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead.
Please open his mouth.
Being a host of the Chaos Control Center podcast on Sega Radio. But it's only had 3 episodes, and the last episode was June of 2016. In the end, I don't know what's gonna happen to the series. I'd like to say that a fan of this series actually made a sequel very recently. By recently, I mean like December of 2016. I'm gonna be straight up here, it's not really good. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. It's actually really nice to see how the series has inspired fans to take action and carry the series out that they grew up with. Sure, the series as a whole isn't all that great, but it's really nice just to see how fans are carrying on the legacy of this game for the next generation. To wrap it all up, will we see more of this series? I don't think so. So the irony of this part in the video is after a few days, when I finished recording all my lines, BlackDevilX himself released previews for the next game. Full out just on his YouTube channel, just parts of the game, and the odds of that, first of all. So I thought, hey, why not take the chance and ask him, just out on the limb, hey, could I interview you for a video that I'm doing about your games? And for some stupid reason, he said yes. So, I mean, wow.
At the end of the day, it's all about creativity. If I was able to inspire people to, you know, spark an interest in anything, really, whether it's anime or whether it's, you know, Sonic or Final Fantasy, if I'm able to, you know, to inspire people to do things, absolutely, it's not weird. You know, that's what I started for. I started my Flash because I was inspired by another Flash. I was inspired by both good and bad. Like, I saw a couple good Flashes, like, man, I really want to try that. And, you know,
For a Flash game using sprites, other than maybe Super Smash Flash, these are the most iconic games of its time. However, Super Smash Flash isn't all that good either, and that's what a lot of these games have in common. For its time, this game was amazing, but now, Flash games are just a thing of the past. There are much better fan games to play. Heck, most of the games I covered in my fan games video were better than this, but the series is still highly respected, and for this reason, it's a Generations Sonic game. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. It's a long one, so congratulations. Considering the amount of time I put into this video, I'd love it if you subscribe, or even just like the video. It really helps. Till we meet again, see you next video.